All right, let's get right into it. Today, we are talking about the future of advertising. And, well, that future is being completely rewritten by artificial intelligence. But here's the thing, it's not going to happen overnight. We're actually going to see it unfold in three very distinct stages, and each one is going to totally transform the industry as we know it.
So yeah, this AI revolution, it's not some big bang event. Think of it more like a three-act play. It's a predictable progression, and if you really want to get a handle on where the entire ad world is going, you got to understand these three stages.
Okay, so here's our roadmap. Our journey kicks off with what's called ANI, or Artificial Narrow Intelligence. That's basically the AI we're all using right now, and it'll define things up until about 2030. Then, things get really interesting. Around 2030, we're expected to hit the AGI, or Artificial General Intelligence, era. And then, hold on to your hats, because by 2040, we could be staring at ASI, or Artificial Superintelligence. Let's dig into what each of these really means.
All right, first up, the here and now. We're living in the ANI era. And listen, this isn't some far-off sci-fi concept. It is actively reshaping the advertising world as we speak, shifting the whole game from human craftsmanship to what you could call intelligent infrastructure.
You know, before all this AI stuff, winning in advertising was all about, well, craftsmanship. It was about brilliant creative ideas, a gut feeling, and the art of the deal. It was an art form, really. But now, the whole game is flipped. It's not an art, it's a science. The new way to win is through pure precision. We're talking AI-powered hyper-personalization and optimizing everything in real time.
And this shift, it's not just happening in one corner. It's hitting every single part of the business. Planning, it's no longer about gut feelings. It's about what the algorithm predicts. Creative, forget a few perfect concepts. We're talking about testing thousands, even infinite variations. Measurement is moving beyond just seeing a correlation to actually proving causation. And CRM, it's finally moving away from blasting everyone with the same message to having real, individual conversations.
A fantastic example of this in action is something called Dynamic Creative Optimization, or DCO. I mean, think about this. With DCO, an AI builds a completely unique ad, the image, the words, the colors, everything, for one specific person. And it does it all in the few milliseconds it takes for a web page to load. This isn't just about making ads faster, it's a whole new way of thinking about advertising. So this table really nails the change. It shows you exactly where the value comes from now. It used to be all about human ingenuity, big ideas, and who you knew. Now, it's all about how precise your AI models are and how good your data is. The agency that wins today isn't necessarily the most creative in the old sense, it's the one with the smartest machine. Okay, so that's where we are now. But let's look ahead to the next chapter, kicking off around 2030. This is the AGI era. And this is where AI transforms from just being a really powerful tool that we use to becoming the actual brain, the core operating system of the entire agency.
And look, the jump from ANI to AGI is absolutely profound. ANI is amazing at crunching data and doing what we tell it to do, but better and faster. AGI is a whole different beast. It doesn't just process what's already happened. It tries to figure out intent. It runs simulations of possible futures, and then it comes up with its own strategies to hit a goal. It's the difference between recognizing a pattern and actually simulating the world.
This incredible ability is built on something called world models, and this is a total game changer. Imagine an AI that can build a digital twin of our society, factoring in geopolitics, the economy, cultural trends, everything, and then run simulations of ad campaigns to see what would happen. It's no longer about looking at past data and finding correlations. It's about understanding the deep causes of why people will do things in the future.
So what does this do to the agency? It flips the whole workflow on its head. Suddenly, AGI is handling the high-level strategy, coming up with creative and running all the media operations. So what's left for us humans? Our role totally changes. We stop being the players on the field and become the conductors of the orchestra, providing the ethical guardrails and the ultimate strategic purpose, the why behind it all.
Yeah, this quote just nails it, doesn't it? The big winners in the AGI era won't be the companies that are just using AI as a tool. They'll be the ones that have AGI as their very heart, their core. They'll be able to take all the uncertainty of the market and turn it into a predictable future.
Okay, we've seen the present, we've seen the near future. Now let's take one final leap. This one might sound like pure science fiction right now, but if you follow the logic, it's the only place this path can lead. And that brings us to the final stage, which could arrive around 2040, the world of ASI,
or artificial superintelligence. And at this point, the whole idea of advertising as communication just breaks. The new job description? Reality architect.
So, think about it. In a world with AI, the system doesn't just predict what you need, it fulfills that need, often before you're even consciously aware you have it. And if all your needs are being met before you even think to ask, what's the point of a persuasive message? An ad becomes totally obsolete.
This wild future really stands on three pillars. First, you have super synchronization, which is just this perfect matching of every individual's needs with all available resources. That alone ends the need for ads. Then it gets weirder. Direct neural experience. This is the idea that through brain-computer interfaces, brand experiences could be, well, written directly into our consciousness. And finally, automated value allocation, where the AI just optimizes everything for the good of society, making our whole system of economic competition a thing of the past.
Okay, I know that was a lot to take in. That last part was a huge leap. So let's bring it all back together and put these three eras side by side to really see the whole picture.
This chart really lays out the whole evolutionary path. You can see the role, the creative, the value source all changing. But just look at that last row, the definition of the industry itself. We go from being an information intermediary in the ANI stage to an intelligent brand partner with AGI, and finally, a civilization's value designer with ASI. I mean, that is just a mind-blowing transformation.
And of course, our own role changes right along with the tech. In the ANI era we're living in now, we're basically efficient operators of AI tools. In the AGI era, we graduate to being orchestrators, guiding this powerful new mind. And in the final ASI era, our role gets distilled down to the one thing the machine can't do, providing the ultimate purpose. The fundamental why for a system that can handle the what and how perfectly.
So you see, this whole journey, it's not really about making better, smarter ads. It's about the entire advertising industry evolving into something much, much bigger. A core part of civilization's operating system. An OS that's literally designing and managing how humanity can achieve its goals, and ultimately, define what happiness even is.
And that leaves us with one last, really big question to chew on. In a world where a superintelligent AI can map out the most efficient, the most beautiful, the most prosperous path forward for all of humanity, where does our own will fit in? What's the role of our choices, our freedom to choose in a world like that? Something to think about. Thanks so much for watching.